What's up, meatbags? It's Tony TGD, and I'm coming out with a little response video to RetroComplex. Now, before we get to it, I want to say I'm not angry. This is not an attack. I'm not trying to dunk on Retro. We are cool, and he does know I'm making this video. I did give him the heads up. I said, hey, I'm going to make a video response to the video you did. And that particular video is, should we be faceless on YouTube, plus more. Now, we are going to be focusing mostly on the more, not so much on the should you be faceless on YouTube part. That has been done to death. We've talked about it on the channel. So we're not going to really focus on that. We're going to be focusing on the more. Now, before we get into it, let me remind you to like this video, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel because that makes me feel oh so good. Now, we're going to briefly touch on this, should we be faceless, because there was one point that RetroComplex, Ken, he said, that people want to be faceless. They want to talk smack without having any consequences. No consequences for talking smack. Well, here's the issue that I have with that. First off, why would there be consequences for expressing your opinion, whether or not that opinion is critical of somebody, of a product, of a series, a TV show, a movie, a person's habits, whatever it be. If you're critical, there should be no consequences, right? You're just expressing your opinion. Someone could disagree with you. Someone can make a video disputing your findings, disputing your beliefs, challenging you to a debate, debating what you said, doing a response like I'm doing here. But there should be no consequences. Just because you've expressed an opinion that is not popular or something that someone is not happy with, or you said some mean words, you shouldn't be losing your job. You shouldn't be threatened. You shouldn't be harassed, doxxed. You shouldn't be, stalked and beat up on the street. So the idea that people are afraid of consequences, well, there shouldn't even be any consequences. There shouldn't be any consequences that anybody should be afraid of. So let's just get that out of the way. I mean, Ken here showing his face, expressing an opinion. Does that somehow, make it better because he's showing his face? Does that somehow show that he has more balls because he's safe in his house, expressing his opinion, not scared of me reaching through the computer and attacking him? No, that's ridiculous. So that is a completely ridiculous point. It's completely moot. People should be free to express their opinion, whether or not they show their face, whether or not they give you their real name. People should just be free to express what they want to express, as long as we're all above board, as long as we're not, doing lies or trying to destroy somebody or trying to cancel somebody ourselves, right? As long as everything's critical, above board, there should be no issue. There should be no consequences forthcoming. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and focus. At about 2:45 is when Ken starts talking about the real meat of the issue, the more. He actually only focuses on the faceless part for the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and the more is actually the majority of the video, funny enough. But I believe there was a fundamental misunderstanding on Ken's part as to what my video was actually about. Now, he doesn't say it in this video. He doesn't put it in the description. He didn't say anything anywhere. But if you've watched my video on being a faceless YouTuber, then you watch this video, it's quite clear that Ken is referencing my video. He's speaking about my video, which is why I'm here making a sort of rebuttal. Now he says that I suggested that you should be lazy and not do a lot of editing and, that it's not a payoff, right? There's no payoff to doing all that work. Just be lazy. Do the most basic thing, the laziest thing you can think of, and throw it up on YouTube, and that's the end of it. And actually, that's the furthest from what I said. I did 5 quick points. I said it's easier to edit, so I did say you should edit your video, right? It's easier to edit when you're not worried about lighting, matching up your arm movements, matching up your body position. There's a lot of people who edit, and there's obvious edits, obvious cuts, because you can see that they're looking in a different direction, or the sun has moved, or something in the background has changed. So I said, if you're just a faceless YouTuber like me with a static image, it's easier to edit and no one's going to be able to catch it because there's nothing to catch, right? The image is not going to change. My picture is not going to change. The second point I said was it's going to be a quicker output, right? Because you're not focusing on things like lighting, what's in the background, people running around, what have you. You're just focusing on what you're saying. It's going to be quicker for you to make videos. And that went into the fact that it's going to be less setup. You don't have to worry about, dressing nice, putting on special clothes or a hat, or make sure that your hair is fixed. I mean, you could just roll out of bed, throw on your thing, start talking, and you're all good, right? As long as your research and everything else is done beforehand, you don't got to worry about the little things that other people have to worry about. I also said that there's going to be no distraction for the viewers, right? The viewers aren't distracted by you. Some people might be off-put by things like Ken's gauges in his ears, right? Some people don't like that. Personally, I don't mind, but I have heard other people say that they don't like that kind of thing. So that might put people off. You don't have to worry about that, right? You don't have to worry about whether or not I have a nose ring or blue hair, or am I shaved? Do I have a goatee? None of that matters, right? Because you can't see me. So there's no distraction for you. And I said, it's going to be quicker and easier to record things when news breaks, right? You don't have to worry again. Without any of the setup, if some news breaks, I can quickly turn on my computer, start making a video. None of that has to do with anything being lazy. I didn't say don't do research. I didn't say don't speak clearly. I didn't say, don't actually address your points. I didn't say just, go out there, run your mouth and say whatever. It's very clearly giving reasons why it's easier to be faceless on YouTube versus showing your face. I didn't say that you should do one over the other. And I clearly didn't say that there are no drawbacks to being faceless. I simply said that these are these, 5 reasons that are positive, 5 benefits to being faceless. Now, as far as not paying off, what I was saying was that time that you waste on editing and doing all the stuff due to showing your face on camera, you could take that time and use it for something better, right? You could work on your thumbnails. You could work on your research. You could work on your audio, right? You have to use your time in the most constructive way possible. That's the whole point, right? No one's saying be lazy. No one's saying do less work. What I'm saying is do the work where it needs to be done, right? Your thumbnail is the first thing people see. So that should be where the majority of your work goes, right? To your thumbnail. Now, I know you're saying my thumbnails are crap. And that's why I hired somebody to make thumbnails, right? When he's not in college, he's making us our thumbnails, and they're a lot better for the audience, more eye-catching. Same thing with audio. I went, even though my audio is not the best, I upgraded from the laptop mic to a crappy Chinese mic. And then when the Chinese mic wasn't good enough, I went and got a different mic. And I'm probably going to go ahead and get a third mic because I was suggested something by, I believe, Tommy Uemiko suggested a mic that would be a lot better for me. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pick that up as soon as I can. With that said, Ken also suggests that YouTube is subject driven, right? That if a subject is popular, you're going to get more views. You're going to get more clicks, more people watching your videos. Now, this is only partially true, right? Of course, a more popular subject is going to have more people searching it out, but you're also going to have more people competing with you, right? So if you're doing, say, Amico content, which is what he brought up, you're going to compete with everybody else doing Amico content. So then you have to stand out somehow. How do you stand out? You stand out by doing good research like me, having really good thumbnails, having good videos, being funny like Ninja Kitty, right? That you have to give the audience a reason to watch your videos. And that's why YouTube is actually personality driven, right? This is not the early days of YouTube where there's only a few content creators and people are just watching whatever, like whoever's throwing up a video on Zelda, I'm going to watch it because there's not that many options. Right now, there's tons of options, so many options on YouTube that people are going to watch videos from people they like, from people they connect with, from people who have a personality, who make them feel good, make them interested in the subject. So your personality is what's going to drive your views in the future. Sure, the subject matter is going to get them to the door, right? Your thumbnail is going to get them to open the door, but your personality is what makes them stay, what makes them sit on your couch, have a beer, and have a little chat with you. Now, on this particular video, Ken, he did share with me on Discord his some of his analytics. And that's why you see it. I got the video stopped at 5:05. It's for a reason, because at 5:05, that's where the average viewer stopped watching this video. The majority of his video was unwatched by the majority of the people, or the average viewer. The average viewer didn't hear most of his points. The average viewer didn't hear most of his things. He didn't give the average viewer a reason to stick around to the whole video. And watch time is so much more important than views, right? It doesn't matter if 1,000 people watch this video if they only stay around for 30 seconds, if they only stay around for a minute. You got to get people staying for as long as you can. That's what helps drive the algorithm. That's what helps drive YouTube. That's what makes people come back, right? If people are checking out early, that means you're not interesting. They're not interested in you, regardless of the subject matter, and they're probably not coming back, right? You're not going to have a good conversion rate from eyeballs to subs. Now, I know I'm not a professional. I know I'm not the greatest here, but I do know, again, because Ken shared with me on Discord, he had about 12,000 impressions for the last 28 days. Ninja Kitty, who also shared with me, he had about 155,000, I believe, impressions. I had 212,000 impressions. So you can see there's a stark difference between people who are getting into the algorithm, people who are getting people to watch, getting videos shared, getting things put out there, versus people who, don't put out as much content, don't put out as much things into the ether. Ken, from my understanding, he doesn't really use Reddit to advertise his videos. I don't know if he don't have a big following on Twitter. I'm not sure if he's getting a lot of people to share his videos. So there's probably a reason why he's not getting a lot of impressions, which is a reason why he's not getting a lot of views, which is a reason why he's not getting a lot of subs, right? It all feeds into each other. Now, he did say that he was only being serious about YouTube in the last year. So hopefully some of what I said clicks in his head. Some of what I said can help him, because, he does make good content. I do like his content. I have discussed with him, some things that I have issues with. There's a lot of times I have to rewind his videos because he doesn't speak clearly enough. He doesn't enunciate. He does have a real thick accent. For me, it's not that big of a deal because I'm used to it. Being Latino, I hear the accent a lot. I understand it. But for other people, it could be an issue. And I did discuss this with him before, so it's not like I'm saying things that I've never said to his face or to him, personally. But that said, back to the Amico thing that he brought up. Now, again, just to hammer home the point, if you search Amico on YouTube, you're going to see a lot of videos with 10,000, 24,000, 1,000, right? The smaller channels are getting about 1,000 views. Bigger channels are getting 10,000, 24,000, depending on who it is, right? But if you go to one particular channel, which we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a side trip over to this particular channel here, Murray NJ08. Now, Murray NJ08 has 24,000 subs, 24,000.8 subscribers on YouTube here. If you look at his videos on Amico, 151 views, 200 views, 253 views, 156 views, 127 views, right? There's a reason why Murray's videos aren't getting as many views. Now you say, well, maybe he's not making that many videos, right? Well, if you go to his video tab, you can clearly see he puts out content almost daily, sometimes 2 or 3 videos a day. So he's clearly putting in the work. He's clearly, the fact of the matter is he's not, again, it's not necessarily subject driven. The subject matter gets people to the door. The thumbnail makes them open it. Your personality keeps them around. And that's the biggest thing, right? You need, the views are not king on YouTube anymore. Watch time is king. You need people sticking around. You need them watching. You need them coming back. You need your unique viewers. You need your returning viewers. This is what's going to push your channel forward, right? Now, there are shortcuts. Of course, you could, do giveaways. You could do contests. You could promise people $100 if they show up to your channel. I'm sure that'll get you a bunch of subscribers. Hell, you can go out and buy some subs from what I hear. But if you're trying to do this honestly, you really need to kind of understand it. It's more of a personality-driven thing. It's more of a, once you get into the algorithm, once you get eyes on your product, you got to have a good product for people to enjoy. And I know there's some people that are like, hey, I just need that one video. Just need one video to hit, to be viral. And that should be enough, right? And again, it's not, because whatever video goes viral, if you don't have content that's similar to that video, right? And I'm not talking about similar quality. I'm talking about similar content. If you have a Zelda video go viral, you don't have any other Zelda videos on your channel, they're not going to come back. They're not going to subscribe. They're not going to watch your videos because they're interested in Zelda, right? Like Amico became real popular. I had enough Amico videos on there that people keep watching those older videos, right? As they're looking up Amico stuff, I have a bunch of Amico videos that keep people coming back to the channel. Now, I do have a problem trying to convert them into subscribers. So let me remind you again, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It makes me feel good. Lastly, but of course, not leastly, Ken did say something about you need to be proud of your videos, proud of what you're putting out there. He puts out quality videos in his opinion. He's proud of his videos. Well, I got to tell you, Ken, I'm proud of my videos too, right? I do a lot of research. I do a lot of behind the scene things before I even come to the video, before I even open the laptop and put the microphone on. I've done so much research, legwork. It's ridiculous. You guys don't see it, right? You guys see a 10, 15-minute video and you think that's all I did. No, I did, hours of research beforehand, right? I've been emailing people, corresponding with people, looking things up, tracking things down, trying to get the correct information. That takes time. Now, if I was a YouTuber who showed my face, some of that time is going to be wasted because now I'm going to have to do all that time. Plus, I'm going to have to do setup. Oh, guess what? Now it's late at night. Now I can't turn my camera on. Now the room doesn't have the proper lighting. Now I got to adjust some other things. Whereas, again, faceless YouTuber, I don't got to worry about what time it is. I don't got to worry about the sun. I don't got to worry about the windows being open. There's so many things, so many advantages. And that's all I'm saying is use those advantages to push your product forward. If I was home all day, if I didn't work, it'd be a lot easier to show my face because I could plan my videos to a certain time. I wouldn't have to worry about just doing things as they go along. But I don't live in that world. I live in the world where I have a job. I have to come home. Sometimes there's light. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's a train. So I got to deal with what I got to deal with in order for you to get content from me that I'm proud of. But that is all I got to say about that. If you agree, if you disagree, if you got something to say, leave it in the comment. Let me know. Because I do appreciate all your feedback. I appreciate everything you say. I do like discussion. I do like debate. So let's just leave it there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.